Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining me for what is my last live stream webinar here for 2020. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, if you guys are ready, I can see the chats coming in right now. If you guys are ready, type a number 1 onto the chats right now. Okay, thank you. Now the chats are moving really fast as you can see, but not to worry. My team is going to slow it down if there's an important question coming up for us here, as you know how this actually is. And I can read it actually on the screens here right in front of me right now. But thank you so much for joining. Now, do tell me where you are from, because I was told that there are at least 37 countries?
I think at this time about 41.
About 41 countries from all over the world joining me tonight, right now. So where are you guys from? All right. Thank you so much. All right, just go ahead and type it on the chat so I can know, can see where you guys are from. Now, this is, I'm really excited to be presenting the final live stream webinar this year. And this has been a crazy year, I think you guys know. And actually since March, right? Since March, all my events have turned to, you know, I was on this stage and I've been doing live stream, and I'm like so used to just talking in front of the camera. But, you know, it's great to be able to feel your energy right now. So while we're waiting for more people to join right now, do send me some energy. Come on, man. Send me some love. Send me some energy. All right. On the chat, of course. Right. Okay. All right. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be able to present my final webinar for this year. And also, the reason why I picked this topic right now today, the 5 ways to use QiMen Dunjia to start 2021 with a bang, it is because when the lockdown happened around the world, I think possibly about March for most of the parts of the world, one of the first webinars that I did, the first live stream event that I did, is called the 5 ways to use QiMen for 2020. At that time, right now, Kenny, it was the first one I did. And it was the pivotal and most important event at that time, because a lot of people were pretty lost and, you know, disoriented at that time. And I thought that that is the right thing to do, to have an event to, you know, show everyone how we can use QiMen or metaphysics to help us realign and make sure we stop ourselves from panicking and move ahead, right? How many of you were at that event? Right, go ahead and type a me here in the chat session.
I hope most of them avoided the eclipse yesterday.
Right. I hope you guys have avoided the eclipse yesterday, right? Kenny is just reminding me. You guys didn't go out, right? I hope you guys heard my live, my Telegram message. You guys to stay indoors during the times, and of course to use the eclipse to your advantage. You know, eclipse is about creating a void. You could create the void to absorb all your bad energies too. Okay, if you've used the QiMen directions that I provided. But I hope you guys did use. How many of you did the quick QiMen meditation? Right, cool. Right, nice. Thank you. All right, cool. All right, so what's today about then? It's great to let's recap and to use QiMen to make sure that 2021 will be a great year for our comeback. For most of us, I mean, if we've been using metaphysics, I think we've done pretty okay, right? How many find that this year, despite the challenges, has been a pretty okay year for you, right? Type of number 1 here. Pretty okay year? All right. Who has a fantastic year? Fantastic 2020, despite, you know, all this shit that's going on in the world right now. Type of me here. Right. Cool. Right. I can see all the chats here coming in. All right. So now I have updated this a little bit for the 2021, of course, and I thought that this would be a great way to end 2020 and to begin 2021 with a bang. And before we begin the program today, I see a lot of you in the chat that are using some weird names with weird numbers. Can you guys just remind everyone to use your real name? So here's what you need to do. Just log out and log in again with your real names, because I need to be able to, you know, call on you, read your questions, and read your names, right? Rather than that number.
So no guess 1, 2, 3 or like Godzilla or
right. Right, so no guess 1, 2, 3 or Godzilla or some weird names here. Please, let's use your real names here, because I think it's easier if my team can also address you by name and contact you, and also to help you out in case you have questions. Okay, and I wouldn't be picking any questions from guest 1, 2, 3 right now. Okay, so please use your real name. And yeah, I can see the chat is moving really quickly, and if it jams out, just refresh the screen. Now, some of you are saying that it's a little bit slow on your side. On our side, the speed is great because we checked our lines. Our lines are okay, right?
Working great.
Our lines are working great. And if you guys are having some form of, what is that?
Internet connectivity.
Internet connection issues, just refresh the screen and you'll be fine. Just refresh the screen and you'll be fine, and you can continue watching and pick it up wherever we left off. Okay. All right. So now it's important to know before we begin, the next 45 minutes is going to be about helping you remember how and when to use QiMen when it matters most. Okay. So of course, this is needless to say that obviously you gotta have some background on QiMen already. I've sent out this email to everybody, and it's also on the registration page that you guys need to have some background on QiMen before we could you could attend this program, because this is not exactly for beginners. Right? It's on all those emails I sent out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But a lot of you guys are still here and you're beginners. So if you're a beginner, and I can't answer the beginner question here, so you got to just pretend that you have some background. So how do you get the background? You can go and study my 101 QiMen, the free videos on YouTube, or some of my discussion groups somewhere. You'll be able to get some details. So this is not a beginner workshop. This is specifically for my students who are somewhat already understand what is QiMen and some of its terminologies. Okay, so guys, I need to make this clear from the start. Okay. So, because I'll be addressing some of the most common QiMen mistakes that even pros are making. Okay, so some pros are, sometimes you might have issues using QiMen, so I want to be able to help you guys clarify some of these doubts so that you know when to use it and how to use it. And lastly, it is for showing you 5 easy and nifty ways to use QiMen applications that you most likely would not have known or might have missed along your practice. And you're at the wrong place if you are not up for a challenge, because this is not exactly super easy. I'm trying to make it easy, but I need you guys to work with me here. This is a thinking class. All right, this is a class that requires you to already have the basics. If you don't have the basics, you probably need to get the basics before you continue. And if you're impatient, you just want the stuff and then get out, you're FOMO, you have that attitude, there's been a whole year I say, we don't appreciate people who have FOMO. All right, the fear of missing out. Oh, I missed this, I missed that. Download this, download that. No. You got to be patient here because this is the final live stream. You got to take it slow. To go through the whole program and be able to follow through. And of course, ask the questions. Of course, my team will help you out as much as they can. And lastly, you gotta, if you're a complete beginner, you gotta go and get some background on your own. Okay, you gotta read up on your own somewhere along. If you want the free stuff, it's on my YouTube. Or I would recommend that you've attended my QiMen Academy. Okay, if you're QiMen, how many of are they all here?
Honestly, we don't know, but
Yeah.
we have to do this because we want to keep the impact and keep it short.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure that we want to keep the impact, keep it short. So if you're a complete beginner, you probably will find the next couple of topics a little bit sophisticated. But if you just hear me out first and believe me later, just hear me out, go through the whole program, you probably will learn a thing or two about QiMen as well, even if you're a complete beginner, okay? Just hold your questions first if you're a complete beginner. So how many of you have some background already in QiMen? Type A1. How many of you are complete beginners, but you're here anyway, despite my warning? So just type a number 2 if you're a complete beginner. Okay? All right. All right, okay. So as long as I got that clear up from the start. Now, but you are at the right place if you want to break free from things that are holding you back, because that's what QiMen, metaphysics, could do. That's the whole reason why we learn metaphysics. You are also at the right place if you are already using QiMen but have inconsistent results. So let me help you with getting better and more consistent results. And if you're willing to put in the work to take the next step forward. Okay, this is important. You know, metaphysics is a lifelong study. It's not some of those things that I learn one thing and then it's going to just work. It's like, it's continuous, just like any education in life. The moment we stop learning, we stop growing, right? So, you know, our problems are there in life only because we have not outgrown our problems. So if we want life to become easier, we have to become better, okay? So that's how it works. Now, here's what I'll be covering for the next 45 minutes or so. These are the 5 things that I want to address, and I'm going to go deep into these 5 things, okay? Number 1, which is extremely important, it's about finding calmness even in chaos, in extreme chaos. And as you know, when this pandemic thing happened in the world, it's chaotic for a lot of people because they're not used to the new norm, and they have to adjust their lifestyle. And of course, there are still a portion of the people, despite now being at the end of the year, still hopeful or silently hopeful that things will go back to normal. As you now know, that's not going to go back to normal per se. So if you're still having that, you need to be able to know how to reboot yourself to move forward, all right? So that's the first part. It's about getting alignment. If you don't get that alignment and you don't know how to get realigned to your purpose and to your whys, you're going to find that 2021, it will be even more challenging than 2020, and we don't want that, right? And number 2, we're going to talk about mental toughness and emotional strength, okay? So this is important. I think that we need to be able to find the internal energy, the courage to be able to move forward, to take advantage of the opportunities to defeat the fear that we have that constantly is attacking us from internal. So perhaps we could use some QiMen techniques to help us gain that courage and gain the confidence that we need to move forward, okay? How many of you need to boost your confidence and courage a little bit? Go ahead and type a me in the chat. How many of you need to boost that courage, right? I mean, you see the opportunities, but you just don't have the courage to take the next step, right, to overcome that. Right, so this is number 2. And number 3, what are the new skill sets that, according to the QiMen chart of 2021, that would be most fruitful for you to acquire, that will allow you to possibly increase your income, increase your opportunities to be able to capture the opportunities that come your way. Okay, I'm going to talk about that as well. And I'm going to talk about the cloak of invisibility or gaining visibility. That's important because you know that we are in a attention economy where the attention is the currency, right? Whoever could grab attention, like the thousands of you who are probably on social media right now, if you could just grab attention, you gain market share, right? So perhaps that's something that you want to do even for your career, for your business, for whatever opportunities that you see that are along your way, okay? And of course, the 5th thing, which I think is important, is what's the new mission? What's the way moving forward for QiMen perspective, okay? So I'm going to do my best to give you whatever I can. This is the last and final live stream webinar for the year that we have for myself and the team Joey up here. Now, after I finish my 5 topics, would it be cool if I also introduce you to a next level, never been seen before opportunity? Okay, so this is an important, I think, opportunity for those of you who want to take this further because you've done QiMen before. Again, this is not for beginners. This is for those who already have some knowledge on QiMen. And I'm going to share with you, this is something that only my QiMen club members who paid $7,500 have access to. Okay, so I'm going to share an opportunity with you at the end of the webinar today. Okay, I hope you guys would be game for it, and it'll be extremely interesting for you to hear me out and see if this would fit to your 2021 goals. Now, if you stay till the end, I am going to talk about something really special just for you guys. I'm going to give you a small bonus, and this bonus is something that I feel that probably some of you might be interested. It's about my top 5 trends for 2021. So I'll be sharing with you at the end of the live stream today. Okay, how many of you would like my views on the top 5 trends for 2021? Go ahead and type a me here in the chat session. Okay, all right. So if you're ready for our 5 important ways to use QiMen, then let's begin with a story. So there's an old adage that says that clear skies never make good pilots. Heard this before? Clear skies don't make good pilots. Now, despite the turbulence and other conditions that keeping the plane off their course, 90% of the time, right? 90% of the time, the plane is affected by the weather, right? The turbulence or whatever it is along the way, but they still arrive at the correct destinations at their intended time. Except we were taking AirAsia, I mean, just kidding. Most of the time, right, they will arrive at the correct destination. And so the thing is this, right? There is a very interesting story that happened some time ago, and this is the Mount Erebus, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, and it stands at 3,794 meters, and it is the second highest volcano in the Antarctica. Now, in 1979, November 28, a sightseeing aircraft that was carrying about 257 people from New Zealand actually crashed head-on into the side of Mount Erebus. And that is an active volcano in the Antarctica. And there were no survivors. Now, it wasn't a terror attack, and it wasn't a suicide. This is an actual photo of the crash site that happened on November 28th of 1979. Now, if you Google this incident, you will be able to see an actual footage of this event happening, and it's actually on Google, and it's really scary. And people will wonder, right, how would the pilots have not seen or avoided the volcano? I mean, come on, right? It's a volcano. It's not like a small, tiny thing, right? Why didn't they know where they were? This is a big question. I think a lot of people would be thinking when they're watching that footage. Okay? So here's what happened. The pilots were unaware that the engineers had altered the flight coordinates by a measly 2 degrees. This tiny little change resulted in the plane being 28 miles east of where the pilot thought it to be. And approaching Antarctica, the pilots descended to give the passengers a view of this, brilliant landscape and the volcano itself. The incorrect coordinates had placed them directly in the path of the active volcano Mount Erebus. The snow on the volcano blended with the clouds above, deceiving the pilots into thinking they were flying above flat ground and hiding the volcano in plain sight. Now, when the instruments sounded a warning of the quickly rising ground, it was already too late. The plane crashed into the volcano at breakneck speeds of 500 kilometers per hour, killing everyone on board. A small and tiny error, if left unchecked, can potentially lead to a huge disaster. And so today it's about looking into the things that seem inconsequential, but which may have profound effects in your life. And just a quick moment of reflection. What is it in your life right now that could be that one small thing which is keeping you from reaching your goals so far in your life, and especially in 2020? And we're talking about that one small thing, okay? Now, we want to take a short moment here to quickly write down clearly the first 3 things that you can come to your mind, okay? This is very important. You're going to play along with us right now, because at the end of the day, we're going to talk about how we can sort these small things out, because it's always this. Remember, it is things that we don't see that keep us from achieving our goals in life. Okay, if we are aware of it, at least it gives you a chance to work on it. When we're not aware of it, we are unable to see what's happening, or we don't know what are the small things that is happening. It could be a 20 mile off the course of your direction that you're supposed to go. Okay, so it's always the small things that actually affect us, right or not? Okay, so take a moment to write this down on a piece of paper on your notes while I take a sip of water. Okay, yeah, all right, cool. You can share it in the chat if you want. Just share it. There's the key quick points. You can share it on the chat. Okay. Cool. All right. So whichever 3 small things you think it is that's that's keeping you from reaching your goals. It could be a small attitude issue, behavioral issue. Most of the time people think it's external. It may be external, but there are more chances that it could be internal. Okay? Now, in 2020, we know the crisis is caused by two big things. That is the COVID-19, is obvious, and of course the looming financial crisis that everyone's talking about. Yet despite of this, right, there are still people who did really well. Some people were aware because of who are informed, right? People who are very informed, they understand how to use the so-called situation that is created by the COVID. Obviously, not people don't want that, but the situation was created, and they made use of the opportunity, and they succeeded in the stock markets, for example, and made pretty good money. And for those of people who knew about this, who understand the problems, they pivoted, they changed directions, and despite the problems, they did pretty well in 2020. But yet there are those who, despite what they see in front, they see the problem, they see the crisis, and they fell right into the trap, okay, and didn't make any improvement whatsoever. So the thing is this, right? 2020 is almost over as we are today, right? I mean, as of today, it's almost over. It makes sense to be preparing for 2021, right? Here's the key thing about 2021. If you've been to my Thrive 2021 event, I talked about, things may get worse before getting better, okay? Things may get worse before getting better. As you can see now, right, around the world, the COVID-19 cases are spiking everywhere in the world right now. So things may get worse before it can actually get better. And that actually affects the economy now. The share market, in case you don't know, the share market and the economy, they are two different things, okay? The share market is emotional, okay? The economy is what's really happening when as you can see, a lot of unemployment, a lot of people are being affected, they lose their jobs, right? And they affect their work environment, they affect their profits and so forth, but yet the share market is behaving in an irrational way, okay? So really, you got to ask ourselves, are we staring into an abyss of uncertainty, or are we planning for resilience? This is important. See, the whole idea about learning metaphysics is not just to go and, oh, it's so nice to forecast the future, or understand a person's destiny chart. What's the point of knowing that if we are not going to plan for resilience and make 2021, our upcoming year, a better year? What's the point? Right? What's the point of learning all metaphysics if we don't want to improve ourselves? So it's not about trying to predict our future. It's all about trying to, design the future that we want and create the future that we desire. So 2021, in short, the world still have to battle with COVID. There are rising conflicts around the world, different countries, between countries, even within countries. And of course, the financial crisis that is looming in the corner, the economic issues that are happening. So what should we do? Okay? So crisis, there will always be opportunities. But the opportunities are only for those who are aware of it and can take advantage of the opportunities. Everyone says there are crises, there are opportunities, but how many people actually take advantage of it? That's the point, right? Everyone says, yeah, there's always hidden opportunities in crisis. Every child out there can say that, but to see it and to have the courage to do something, to take advantage of it and excel, maybe about 30-40% of people could do that, okay? But most of them are too scared to take action, okay? So I hope that 2021, with this final live stream event here, I hope that this will give you the encouragement and also the preparation needed to be resilient and to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that are still along the way, okay? So, as you know, December 20th onwards, which is a couple of days from now, is the actual transition between Jupiter and Saturn. So, which means that in metaphysics terms, it is the Earth and Wood star meeting each other, and it meets once in every 19.8 years. And it marks the significant changes from period 8 to period 9. It is a big change, okay? Now, change doesn't happen like in an instant, everything happens. It's gradual, but eventually it will lead to the full transformation of period 9, which is 2024, okay? So in this period of time, especially starting in the next 5 days, right, December 20th onwards, you got to understand, there are certain things in a crisis you can't control, and there are certain things you can control, Okay, what are the things you can control and can't control? You have to be very, very, very clear of. Okay, if you are not clear of that, we're just going to hope that, yeah, let's just wait for the vaccine to come and clear out everybody, and when can we travel again? So you're just waiting. Okay, eventually the vaccine will come, and eventually it will be okay for us to travel again. Eventually, come on, right? But the problem is, are you going to just wait till then, or along the way, you know, create great results and improve your career, your performance in life, your improve your income, improve your abilities, or you're just going to wait for shit to happen, wait for shit to become better, right? So the opportunity is always created with stuff that you can control, and not something that you hope that you can't control just become better on its own. Okay, so listen. I've talked about this early in the year. I'm going to talk about it again. There are three groups of people here that is important. There are those who struggle, and there are those who can survive, and there are those who can thrive. Okay, those are the thrivers right here. So now this is important. How many of you know people who are still struggling right now? Despite the entire year, they struggle. They're still struggling, right? Oh, it's like almost up to here when it comes to they're almost drowned. Okay, now, but if you are listening to this and you survived the whole year, you're probably already here. You survived, okay? Look, 2020 wasn't great for a lot of people, but you were here, you were okay. It's time to go to thrive. It's time to move to this. And that biggest change is between what you can see, what you're willing to do, and have the attitude to move forward despite these challenges. This is not going to go away. This is not going to go away, okay? You have to become better. We have to become better. So when we're stuck at any one point, when we're stuck, we always look between what we know, right? What I already know, or what we already know in that situation. But really, the solution to our problems, be it economical problems or health problems or relationship problems, it's never found with what you already know. It's usually found with what you don't know yet, okay? So it's in the unknown. So a lot of people, when we say, I don't know, it's a good answer because you don't know the answer yet, right? If you knew how to sort out the financial challenges and you knew how to make 10 million, 20 million, you knew how to do that, you'll be doing it already. The question is you don't know yet. So where's the answer? The answer to being able to generate the income that you want, the health that you want, the relationship that you want, it's still, for you at least, or for whoever is asking this question, it's always in the unknown, okay? So the idea of metaphysics, especially in a system like QiMen, is to tap to this yellow, this orange section here, what you don't know, okay? So if you already knew it, you'll be doing it, right? So you want to get to this point. So to get to this point, there are 4 realms. So this is a quick recap. I know you've done QiMen before, but this is a quick recap here, okay? So we have the universe realm, we have the heaven realm, we have the earth realm, we have the man realm. To manifest reality, to get something from your imagination into real life experience, there must be an alignment of these 4 realms. There must be alignment. I'll get to the point of how we can do that, but this is how it works, okay? So I know some of you are already doing QiMen forecasting, and a lot of you are getting great results with that. I'm really happy to hear that. But for some people, they can't get the results. The reason is because they have not yet gone through their alignment. So internally, the heaven different direction, earth different direction, man different direction, and universe out of alignment. What does that mean in real life? It's like that, okay? Heaven represents your thoughts. It's the quality of thoughts, or in other words, your intelligence, your mind, okay? So earth is how you feel. This is emotions. This represents how you feel internally. Now, how you feel and how you think is 2 different things, but they align somehow in the long run, okay? So this is heaven and earth. So heaven is somewhere, you know, in the thought realm, it's a mind realm, okay? I just layman's term for you. And earth is how you feel about something, okay? So example, how you think about Jane and how you feel about Jane might be different, okay? Man realm or human realm is your physical being, your physical body itself. All right, your physical embodiment of these energies. And universe is the spirit realm, the intuition, the celestial, the inspiration that comes in. It's not the thoughts, it's the universe life force. Okay, the same life force that gives life to a butterfly, the same life force that gives life to you, your kids, the plants, the trees, the animals, everything, the same life force, okay? Some people say, yeah, I don't really understand this life force thing. Well, if you look at a caterpillar, without the benefit of a brain, it knows how to become a butterfly on its own. The birds know the direction to fly, all right, in different seasons. The trees themselves, the seeds are not confused, right? They know exactly if it is a mango seed, it will turn into a mango tree on its own. That's some intelligence have gone into programming. The ants, the bird have all the same organs as a large bird, as it's a small bird, and the human beings have the heart and everything else. You know, it's that intelligence, that whole universal intelligence. So it's right here, the same life force. If this life force leaves you, you'll be dead. Okay? If you measure a person that is alive, you weigh a person that's alive and dead, in that split moment, they're still the same thing. What is gone? It's the life force that is gone. If the same life force is strong, you will survive. Okay? So this is the universe realm. Now, if this is misaligned with your thoughts and mind, and is also misaligned with how you feel, so you think positive, but you feel negative, how is your manifestation going to come true? Okay? I'll give you another example in forecasting why people can't get it right. This is, again, I told you, the small things that make the difference. You set up a forecasting chart. You thought about something, then you question whether this is the right chart or not, and then you feel that this is not the right chart, and therefore you cannot read the chart. Then you plot another chart in the next hour, and plot another chart in the next hour because of own internal insecurities. So this is misalignment. Okay, or when you do a manifesting, how many of you tried manifesting in QiMen, right? You use your sage power, your direction, and some you don't get the results because you don't align with the actual energy. You think about something, then you're unsure whether you gave the right instruction, you're worried. Did I say it right? Maybe I didn't say it right. Maybe I missed out on this. Maybe I did the finger thing wrong. Maybe I did the wrong finger sign, okay? So maybe something, you know, it's the mudra, the madras, or whatever shit I'm doing. So you keep questioning yourself, and then you feel bad about it, and then your manifestation doesn't come true. All right? You're worried about this direction or that direction or this direction. Oh, I can't do it. So you see, the internal doubt basically fucks you up. Okay? So the alignment is important, right? So the most relaxed people who have alignment of all four realms create and manifest reality. So for those who have clear direction on what they want, they have clarity on what they want to manifest, they know it, they want what they think, they know from every single cell in their body aligned with the universe energy, in reality they will receive. Okay? So that's how we're going to manifest the reality that we want. And of course, you may say, but how? See, those they're talking, they have this problem or this problem. Okay? So they keep thinking how, right? So I know you heard of so many people saying, don't think about how, right? Think of the why and the how will come, right? Think of the reason you want to do something. It's hard to tell some people who just are wired for sabotage themselves, but QiMen can help you, okay? Give it some time, be a bit more patient, we'll get there, okay? But this is, in a nutshell, how we're going to get to manifesting the outcome that you want. Now, if you get this right, all your other QiMen, forecasting, strategic execution, feng shui, your QiMen sage path, everything will work. This is the most important part to make it work. So if you want to use Warcraft, if you want to be able to plan your strategies up ahead, if you don't have this alignment, it's going to be a big problem for you, okay? So the 5 ways that I'm going to talk about will help you get there, okay? Will help you get there. I hope that this is the final sort of fine-tune for you as you are winding down for the year, and be prepared for 2021. Remind yourself of these 5 things, and hopefully these 5 methods will help you be ready to be resilient for 2021, or maybe you might even thrive in 2021. So remember, there are 10 stages of recovery. I've talked about this before, early in the year. You have seen this before, but let me recap where we are right now. So for some people, when they first start out with this pandemic early in the year, they were oblivious or disbelief. Then they were filled with fear and panic. So this is called the struggling stage. Now, if you stayed here for too long, hopefully none of you here, the couple of thousands of you all listening right now, are not in this stage. Hopefully you're still not panicking and fear. I mean, come on, right? If you listen to my talk for this whole year and you're still in this, then something is wrong with me, right? For talking for so long, you still don't understand, right? Hopefully you are at least here and onwards. How many of you are survival and up to thrive already? Go ahead and type in the comment section right now, okay? That means you are readjusting, you're resetting, you are experimenting with new ways, and you're already realigning. If you're realigning, you're probably already near towards or already in the thrive section. You're in restoring yourself and you're already thriving in the new normal. Now, to get there, to get to that level, you need to talk about the 9 key factors and get these 9 key things to thrive, okay? So if you don't already have this, you want to write this down and make sure that you have it. You want alignment of energy. So it's your energy. If you're like, oh, so gloomy, my energy is very low, you know, you'll be attracting all the shit into your life, okay? I mean, if you have exposed yourself to the bloody eclipse yesterday for no reason, now your energy is even lower than before, okay? So, of course, if you have a lot of energy, you can go ahead and expose yourself to these, eclipse as much as you want. You know, Donald Trump went and go and see the eclipse last June. You know, he was on. Yeah. You saw that, right? He publicized his braveness in looking at the eclipse. Okay, last June. I hope you guys didn't do it. Didn't follow him, because the eclipse is a void. It will absorb your energy. Now you can always, if you did that accidentally, you can always use QiMen to re-energize and polarize back your energy. We'll come to that point shortly. You got to have the right skill set. We're going to talk about that as well today. And hopefully we can cover as much as possible. New skill set that you must have. If you don't have it, you obviously lose out on the opportunities that will be forthcoming for you. And you got to be urgent in finding solutions, not wait for when things will become normal. So far, and all the top business people that I know, they don't say, you know, when will things go back normal? None of us say that. They already know that it will take time, and during then they're going to be prepared. Okay? How many of you look back this year, you started your training with us since March, that you have learned something useful so far and brought you here and beyond? How many of you learned something useful? Cool, right? You made 2020 the best that you can, right? You learned new knowledge. You learned something new. You helped yourself. You didn't just wait for things to improve. Had you waited since March till now, we still can't travel until now, right? But if you learn something, you expand your mind, you improve your skill set, you have the possibility of generating more income, right? So that's what you did, right? But there's still more to go, right? And you got to be urgent in finding a solution, and you got to know what are the resources available to you now, what resources you can access so that you could use it. And some of us might be, you know, there's always an opportunity to raise funds, because right now, for those of you who are playing the game at that level, you know that governments around the world have printed a lot of money. The money has to go somewhere, okay? So most of them are putting back into the stock market, right? Because got to go somewhere, right? But if you are resourceful in your your dealings and your planning, you might be able to access some of these resources and use it to build your dreams, okay? Or build the company that you want to build, all right? So it's about knowing where to look. And finding mentors, right? You see, from March till now and beyond, there is no stopping you from finding your mentors. There's no stopping you from looking for people to help you, to teach you, to learn new skill. The worst is those who sit down and just wait. Why nobody help me? Why nobody help me? I'm just waiting for people to help. Who is my lucky person? These type of people need slap, yeah? Slap, slap, slap. You gotta go out and be useful to other people. It's not, mentors don't sit there waiting for you to come and become their mentees, you know. You got to go there and be able to offer what you can first. Remember, help first before asking for help. Remember that? Okay? So you may think, yeah, but I got nothing to offer. Well, learn something to offer. This is something that is important. If you want to have mentors in your life or helpful people in life, be helpful yourself. This is the part that a lot of people don't get. Because Chinese people who write all these feng shui books in the past is always talking about when someone will come to your life and save your ass. So, but the reality is this, you know, you want to be able to have something great to offer. At least be entertaining if you've got nothing to offer. If you're not even entertaining in the first place, right, you're like freaking boring. You know what they say, si ham hao? Si ham hao is, si ham is what? Clam. Yeah, you know, si cannot open, cannot say thank you. Don't ask for help. The mouth just cannot open. Some people si ham hao, you know. For those who don't know what si ham, you can write in the chat and explain to them. Some people just can't ask for help, can't say thank you. The fish is always like that, like a freaking sea hum. So it's a big problem. This one needs slap again, yeah? So mentors are there, but you need to be the one initiating it, okay? Of course, you can find, I'm going to show you a way, but you got to match it together with your activities. And of course, you got to have great emotional control. Come on, right? Emotions, if you can control emotion, you control life, right? Write this down in your notes anywhere. If you can control your emotions, you control life. Life is mainly emotions, right? If you can control your emotions, you control your life. So we should learn how to do that. through the alignment of QiMen, okay? So we call this QiMen consciousness. It's the more conscious you are of the emotional energies, your mental thoughts and emotional energies, the more you are able to align it, okay? So this is important. And of course, what platform, right? Nowadays, the platform has changed. Most of the time, those days, you need physical one-on-one face to meeting with people, but now things have changed, right? You are probably going to meet online through Zoom, or you meet live stream right now through a webinar like this. So platforms have changed, social media platforms have changed. What is your thing, right? And what strategy is? What strategy means how to. You see, how to is like the last thing, not the first thing, okay? How to comes last, and last thing that you need to know is, can you actually make decisions? Because even if you know how, but you don't make decisions, or worse, you take freaking long time to make a decision, you will lose out big time, okay? If you look at this, right? From March all the way until now, you know, the entire stock market went down in March, and then since April onwards, in a slow and steady, you know, way, it has gone up. But how many of you took long time to make decisions? Like scared. Okay, I'm gonna make, no, and then you never do anything. Okay, so this is the thing. Forecasting of QiMen can only be good as your ability to make decisions. If you forecast something, you can write this down. You forecast something, but you don't act on the information that you have, you're too scared to do shit, then none of this will be useful for you. You got to train yourself in making decisions. Now, how do you do that? Is you got to train yourself in making small decisions. For example, if you decide on where to eat, don't freaking change your mind. Okay, decide to do things, small activities. The more small activities you can decide to do, the better you become in making decisions. Even if they're small, everything starts small. One small thing, remember, could literally change your life. But some people can't even decide what they want to eat for dinner, right? They look at the freaking menu for 10 minutes and can't decide, right? So if you have that problem of being indecisive, you can change that. It's just an attitude issue. And indecisiveness will definitely destroy you in 2021, because 2021, as you know, is a big year for change. So you gotta take note of that, okay? Make decisions quick, commit to something and make improvements. Don't scatter everything. Sometimes if you don't push yourself forward, right, you don't learn something new, you don't educate yourself, you don't take on something extra, you can't become better. You wish that things become easy, but you yourself don't improve, things will never become easy. Okay, it's always going to be hard. So the way to improve is your ability. Start with the decision-making ability. Now, this is the 2021 chart. It's going to be full screen right now. You can see it. You screen capture it yourself to save time. So this chart here, if you've been to my Thrive event, you've seen it, and it is a chart that we use to forecast what's in store for 2021, or we talk about the energies that are affecting the year. So I'm going to make use of some of the information here, not all of them, okay? Remember, we are talking about usage, not so much about the technicalities of a QiMen chart here, okay? All right, I mean, how many of you have seen this chart before? Okay, that's pretty cool, and I'm sure some of you have never seen it before. That's fine, okay? You can screen capture it from the site. Don't worry, but what I'm going to show you in the 5 steps, you don't really need the chart. You just need to know how to apply this. Don't FOMO, slap. Don't FOMO, okay? Doesn't matter, yeah? You won't die. There are a lot more charts, thousands of charts you didn't have because you don't even know they exist. So therefore, don't FOMO. It's fine, okay? All right, what's FOMO? Guys who know what FOMO is, write down here so that other people know. Okay, let's begin. So the 5 ways to use QiMen. First way, so the first thing is to find calmness in extreme chaos. It's about being able to reboot in case you're on a struggling stage, and if you're on a survival stage, moving to a thriver's stage, you still need to reboot and realign. So we start out with this picture here. Again, if you are aligned with your core purpose in life, your reason for being. Now I know this is a big question. A lot of times people are like, oh, I'm trying to find my purpose. Listen, you can't discover your purpose in 1 hour. Usually it takes a lifetime, okay? So, and your life purpose may change halfway, yeah, depending on what you're doing at the time. But roughly this is how you get there, okay? So firstly, there are what skills part, right? What you're great at. There are things that you are probably naturally good at doing. Now, if you don't know how to use your QiMen Destiny chart, you've never learned this before, or if you've learned it and forgot it, you should recap on that. Okay, at this stage, if you don't know your parts, please go and study your parts. If you say, I don't know, this is not slap again, yeah? Find a way to do it. Come on, right? Come on, the books are out there. There are free information, there's paid information, there's whatever. It's out there. Go and do it, okay? Or you can do this by trial and error, okay? By figuring it out, what you're good at naturally doing, all right? Now, the second thing is this, all right? What you love to do, the things you enjoy doing because it gives you pleasure. Your skill set is quite different than something that gives you pleasure. Some people might be good at accounting, but they don't really get pleasure doing accounting, okay? So what you love to do, what makes you happy? What makes you happy doing all the time? And what strategy? This is what pays you. This is important because just because you're good at something doesn't mean someone will pay you for it. Just because you like something, for example, I extremely like snowboarding. I love it, but nobody is going to pay me to do snowboarding, okay? Unfortunately. I got to find something that people can pay me for, and hopefully I'm also having passion in it, correct? So what pays you, the things that bring you the material gain and the wealth in this crisis is important because people pay for different things during these challenging times, especially if you are now moving into 2021 right now. There are different opportunities. Things are starting to change because they are anticipating the vaccine coming out, and they're anticipating, a lot of people have pent-up demands on something. Are you anticipating it because that's what's going to pay? So are you going towards that direction, or you're saying, no, I insist on doing exactly what I'm doing right now, and you just got to pay me for whatever it is I like or whatever I know, even if you don't want it. Okay, listen, the market doesn't give a shit. The market is going to pay you what they want. Okay, so you got to understand this. Now, if you put all this together, if you put what pays together, your skill set, you will survive. Okay, if your skills together, what's passionate, you'll be happy, but you'll be struggling. Okay, so if you are passionate about something and you are linking to what pays, but you have no skills over it, you probably will be jobless anyway, okay? Like for example, I may be okay with snowboarding, but no one is going to pay me for it. Even if they're paying me for it, I don't think I'm world class yet, okay, to be able to pay it a lot. So you want to thrive in crisis, you got to have a combination of these three things, okay? So to get to this point, we need to we have alignment with the so-called source energy, okay, with the universe, so that we could get the courage to pick ourselves up in case we've fallen down in 2020. We have the courage to move forward, have the courage to learn new things, have the ability to conquer the fear, to be able to feel calm and be able to get inspiration. Wouldn't that be good for you? You've got to start with that, right? Okay, so how do we do that? Now, I summarized the 2021 chart into this. Okay, this is the same chart, but in 2021, I just listed out a few things here. This is the direction, the 9 directions, the 8 directions, sorry. All right, you have southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest, north, northeast, and east, okay? So these are just the directions. Hey, hold on here, right, guys? Don't worry. I know you're saying, I can't see. Listen. Relax. You will see it eventually, okay? You're not losing out. No FOMO, all right? Okay, so the directions here generally refer to the real direction of your compass, okay? And each one of this in the box, in the 2021, listen, this chart is not the current chart. It is February 3rd onwards, 2021, year of the metal ox QiMen chart. And you will find 9 heavens together with ghost. This ghost is the constellation of ghosts together inside southeast. The south direction of 9 earth with net constellation. The black tortoise in southwest is foundation constellation. If you have been on my, if you listen to my Telegram, my daily messages, you probably have heard me saying, today the constellation of ghosts meets with the day of the metal pig, for example, right? So these are constellations together with the deities in the direction, okay? So I'm going to show you now how to use it. I know you're conscious of all these things I have here, but I'm going to tell you how to use it. Only 5 of these you'll be using right now. The first one, for the alignment, this is important. You got to go through this cleansing process, okay? If you have been very much affected by bad energies, now bad energies don't just affect your income, although income could be one of it, but there could be other things you have wanted in 2020. right? Other things you have wanted. Maybe you wanted that relationship that you always wanted to get, and you didn't get it, right? Or maybe you wanted to excel in the job that you want to excel, but you didn't get there because of whatever it is. Where you probably be thinking someone sabotaged you, someone manipulated you, someone did this to you, whatever it is. It's here first, all right? Because you have allowed manipulation. You allowed someone to manipulate you. You allowed someone to sabotage you. You weren't strong enough to defend yourself against the dark arts, okay? You weren't strong enough to fend off the enemies. So don't blame other people. You got to fix this, okay? So if you fell sick, right? Yes, it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to fix it too, correct? So the negativity that has slowed you down in 2020, you need to get rid of it before you can move on to make a comeback in 2021. Right, so this is the first thing, right? So you gotta to remain calm is to do that cleansing. So this here, aligning with Chief together with Void, this is a constellation that belongs to the Sun group. And Void, if you've been listening to my Telegram messages, whenever it comes to the Void constellation, I always talk about being able to, one of the things, if you heard my message, was to take all the negative and send it into the earth or send it into the void. So you take away the negative. If you can't get positive, at least throw away the negative, okay? So this is one of the things. I want you to do this, okay? This is how you can clear up your path ahead. So sit with your back towards the east, okay? Not your face towards the east, okay? Now, I know you're going to say, but this is not my direction. It's not my thing. Ignore all that. This is for this exercise alone. Doesn't matter whether it's a good direction or bad direction. Don't mess up your own mind here. Follow instructions, okay? So, the back towards the east, this is when you reach to February, okay? Now is not the time yet, okay? Now you still follow. It's only a couple of days. Soon, prepare and plan. By the time you reach February, you do this. The back towards east direction. And you're going to ask for a cleansing process to take place, to take away all the obstructions, all that cause you pain, all that cause you the unhappiness, whoever you thought manipulated you, whatever it is, okay? Whatever you thought the manipulation is, the sabotaging is, the unfairness that you've been through, whatever you feel, okay? Whatever you felt, you pass it to, you ask the Chief in this direction, absorb it and cleanse it for you. Now you can use this throughout the year. Every time you feel there's a blockage, it could be a blockage of spirit energy, heaven, thoughts, emotions, block of emotions, or block in terms of the body. Either one is blocked will stop you from manifesting. So this is very important for you to do that calming and clearing and rebooting, okay? Now you may say, I don't need reboot, I'm doing pretty fine, okay? Then what is stopping you from moving faster? What is stopping you from going faster in 2021, all right? What's stopping you from getting what you want in faster speed, right? Take that obstacle, maybe mental, emotional, or maybe you felt it in your body, throw it in, get the Chief to take it away from you and cleanse you thoroughly. Now, some people actually think that they have sort of bad energies attached to them. It could be, right? Some places you visit, accidentally, there could be bad energies latched onto you. Some people, not all, some really did send bad energy. How many of you felt or know someone that somehow sent bad energy your way? Okay? If you felt that, then this is the direction to use next year to eradicate these negative energy once and for all. And for those of you who want to move faster forward, then the next thing, this is the other one. The polarization, the white tiger together with basket. So for those of you who have no more negative energies, now it's time to take the current and polarize it. You want to extend this energy about 3 to 4 feet wider. Okay, so use the white tiger's energy together with the basket, which is a constellation in the old days for it's a concealment. Those days they use this for alchemy. Okay, long story cut short, it's able to help you expand energy. Imagine you are doing I don't know how many of you guys are fans of Dragon Ball Z. I don't know, I come from the era. Fans of Dragon Ball Z, anyone? You know Dragon Ball? Right? Okay? So remember, there's a point where you transform to Super Saiyan 2 or 3, the energy field goes bigger. I want you to, in your mind, imagine you are going to transform to Super Saiyan 2 or 3. Okay? So you're going to expand. If you don't know what that means, go and search Google, you will see that. Okay? And for those of you who don't know, imagine your energy field expanding. Every time here you do that, Do that. And whenever you feel the energy is low, like, oh, you know, I got to get on stage later, boost up your energy. Use west direction, okay, back towards the west, and ask for energy boost. Polarize it, okay, expand it as far. Now, why I say 3 to 4 feet? Because that is within your realm of possibilities. It cannot be like, okay, I'm going to expand it 10,000 feet. That's crazy. That one you need slap, okay? This one, you need to be a bit more realistic. Expand it believably in your own mind. And once you have the energy field, keep it there for 5 minutes. Okay, keep it there 5 minutes so that you become comfortable with a strong energy field. Nothing can harm you, nothing can touch you, only good fortune can come to you. Always, always emphasize this like an internal mantra. Okay, so make sure you have this energy polarized. So negative people, if they're latched onto you, clear it first and then polarize. Okay, so you do this. Whichever ones comes first, doesn't matter if. Now some of you are like, oh, do I need to do it on a good day? Listen, you need slap, yeah? I didn't talk about good days. I'm talking about throughout the year, whenever you need it, you do it, okay? If you know QiMen at a higher level, then of course select a better day to save time. The reason you do date selection is to have like greater connectivity. Suppose you don't have greater connectivity on certain days where your Wi-Fi is low and you need to send out an email. What do? You still use it anyway, right? So do whatever you can, all right? Don't be so picky like, oh, I gotta select the best day for this. You need slap again, okay? All right, so then number 2, right? Number 2, mental toughness and emotional strength. You need courage, right? You need courage to be able to conquer all the challenges that come your way. You need courage to be able to, be able to go past this negative people who are possibly going to sabotage you. Come on, there are people out there that may do this to you. You're going to be able to go past these people, you know, break down their attacks and be able to succeed despite the challenges. You cannot like, oh, just hope that nobody will mess with you. Come on, somehow this world has petty people, right? They have nothing else better to do but to just somehow sabotage you, correct? So you need to have the energy, be strong enough so that they can't touch you and they are not able to sabotage you. So this is important to have that courage and that toughness in there to be able to conquer this. And more importantly, to be able to control your own emotional drama. Now listen, while you could fend off external enemies, but there's one enemy you cannot fend off, and that's your internal drama. Internally, if the enemy lives inside you, it doesn't matter what other people outside are saying or doing, you're just not going to go anywhere, okay? Because that internal enemy, how many of you can recognize, I know this is a difficult question, I don't expect you to share it, but how many of you felt that if you could just silence that emotional drama inside you right now, you'll be a hell lot better this year coming? How many of you? Type of 1 in the section right now. How many of you think that if you can just silence that emotional drama that is happening inside you, your relationships will improve, your health will improve, your wealth will improve as a result of you silencing that drama that is inside. Okay, now listen, if this drama is inside you, wherever you go around the world, this drama will follow you, right? So you gotta be able to do that. So how do you silence that? You gotta use this, okay? This is the surging snake with the Orion. It's called the circle of life formation. So what happens is you are tapping back to life force energy itself, okay? So this is a great way to reconnect with nature. I would use this direction, tapping to northeast, if you want to connect with nature, want to get inspiration from nature, want to get ideas, reconnect with earth. That's what it is, okay? So a lot of healing can take place this way. A lot of pain can dissolve this way when you connect back to life force. When you connect back to source, that's what it means. So a lot of times when you lose your purpose, this would be a great direction to tap to realign with that purpose. If you've lost yourself along the way, or you are in darkness, or maybe you sort of feel that the internal voice is just too loud, then this would be a good direction to tap to silence that internal voice, okay? That disturbance that you hear all the time. If there's drama happening in you, you want to be able to connect with the drama inside and then straighten it out, okay? The surging snake will help you. The Orion, which is a water element, will help you cleanse it, okay? So this is the thing that you need to do now. The reason why a lot of times you do the forecasting and you can't come up with the strategy if you are learning QiMen already, it is because you're too messed up internally, all right? How are you going to do consulting when your whole internal world is so dramatic? Why you have all this illness that keep following you everywhere? You fix one problem, another problem happened, this problem happened, then you think it's your karma that is bad. all right? So listen, you end the freaking karma right now, okay? So it's like, oh no, it's my past life of all these things. Listen, here and now you end it, okay? You're going to talk to this drama and cut the cords immediately. That's how you can use this surging snake together with Orion in the direction of northeast in 2021. You're going to freaking cut it, all right? You're not going to have affected by bad karma and shit. You don't have to go and do like a zillion offerings and all that, or because you killed a fish in the last lifetime and now you pay back that fish. All right, you got to have, you know, just cut it, all right? Cut the drama, all right? From now onwards, you start fresh, right? No need to have all these dramatic things like, oh, you know, so and so, you pissed off who in last life, this life come back to haunt you. Enough of that, okay? So this is the direction you're going to tap to. Reboot the circle of life. That's why it's called karmic influence. And install new karma, all right? Install new karma in that direction. So this is important, all right? Some of you are like, how? Listen, just imagine the picture, a cord tied to something, cut it. That's it, all right? Don't make it dramatic like, oh, how do I need to do the rituals? Do I need to put the joss sticks? Do I need to burn joss paper? Then I go and burn a car. I gotta burn something to the God of heaven. No need. Imagine the mind tied by chain, cut it. That's it, okay? So do it a few more times until you feel free. This is important, okay? Connect with earth, connect with the source energy. That's what you need to do. You can feel it here. Once you feel it here in your gut, right, in your body, you got it, all right? It takes a bit of time, but, you know, try this, all right? If, this is sometimes why some people can't exceed that income bracket. Some people can't get that relationship. They think it's their karmic thing. Well, cut it, all right? Okay, now, I want to talk about the third thing, which is the new skill set that you need 2021. It's not entirely new, but it's something that you could think of and consider if you want to be in the you know, make good money. You got to have better skills, right? If it's the same skill set that you already have. Listen, I know a lot of people understand what I'm saying, but they don't internalize what I'm saying, okay? So they hear it like, oh, 聽就好爽啊, yeah, but they don't do anything. They don't actually go and learn a new skill. Okay, so I want you to take what I'm saying seriously, at least for the next 10 minutes or so, right? That really, you got to go learn something new, all right? Do you want to excel in 2021 or not, right? So if you want to, maybe you want to consider adding a new skill set or at least hiring someone with a new skill set to be more in line with 2021's opportunities, okay? So now, firstly, to be able to learn faster, if you are learning it yourself, you got to tap to the direction of the moon together with Astrid constellation. It activates super learning, okay? So again, it's the back towards north and you're studying with the back towards the north, okay? This can help you. Now, I know if you're doing feng shui, you're gonna be asking me questions like, hey, you know, this sector is a bad health sector, blah, 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 blah. Listen, we're not doing feng shui. So don't think about it right now. We'll talk about feng shui when it comes to feng shui. Right now, I'm only asking you direction. I'm not asking you to go to the north sector. In case you don't know this, that's why I don't want to be talking to beginners. That's the thing, right? Okay, listen. So if you're a beginner, you will not understand, you somehow don't understand sectors and direction. They're two different things. If you're a beginner. If you're not a beginner, you understand that direction and sectors, they are two different things, okay? So I'm asking you the direction of north. I'm not talking about the sector of north, okay? So the direction of north allows you to tap to the super learning ability to acquire a skill set that will be beneficial for you in 2021. So what are the skill set that we're talking about now? The skill set that is more in line for you to work remotely or to work independently. I'm going to share a bit about this in my 5 trends of 2021 at the end of my presentation today. I hope you guys are staying back for it. Okay, it's something that is new. Even for my followers for some time, okay? But this is something that I think is important, the ability to work remotely or independently, okay? So this is in accordance to the 9 stars of QiMen that is in your destiny chart that might give you a clue as to what skill set you should be acquiring that will be helping you. Either you acquire it yourself or you get someone who knows it, who is in your workforce or your partnership that will be able to serve you and help you because the opportunities will align with these qualities, okay? So here they are, okay? So now before I tell you what they are, this is how you find it. When you print out your destiny chart, it's on this section. This section here, it's the 2021 QiMen Life Palace, okay? It's the QiMen 2021 Life Palace. And you look for star, okay? You can see a star right here. So you look for this chart here. Like if you're a complete beginner, you probably don't know where this is from. This is from my website. It's on the annual parts. And most people come from my function astrology will be able to see this, okay? So here's another example, 2021, the star, okay? Now guys, if someone is asking where they can find it, please just post the link. Help out the...
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat, or help the beginners out here, okay? Because I'm seeing some people are so new that they don't know where this is from. Oh my God. Why are you here again? Okay, right. Okay, so you need to know the star. Okay, see, this is what star is influencing you for the year. So this is another example. So for this person, 2021 QiMen Life Palace, this is the ambassador. Okay, so now going back to the chart. So if you have the assistant, learn up how to tell a story, write a story, do copywriting, learn how to write. How to write to sell. This is you. So you say, I don't know how to do that. Learn, right? How do you write emails that are convincing? How do you learn to write to move and influence people? That's what you need to learn, okay? If you have ambassador, learn how to consult, learn how to do consulting. Take your expertise and help somebody, okay? But you may say, but I'm not an expert. Be one then, okay? You may say, oh, I don't know. Don't know is a good thing because the answers to your life problems is in the unknown. So go know, go and find out, okay? So learn how to consult, learn how to transform lives, learn how to help people. That's what this is about. You make good money from this, okay? Learn how to do that. If you're in fitness, learn how to consult in fitness. If you're in wellness, learn how to help people become better. Learn, teach how to consult people for their nutrition, for example. If you're a health consultant, right? If you're a feng shui consultant, if you're anything consultant, you can try that. Try that. This is really important. Heart. How many of you had heart in the chart? Heart this year, 2021, okay? So analytics, data, or programming. This is important. I know it's technical, but it is, all right? Even financial analytics, being able to read numbers. A lot of people don't know how to read numbers. They invest because their Grab driver told them about a stock. That's dangerous, okay? This means you gotta know the numbers, you gotta see the reports, you gotta know what they mean. I know you're saying, I don't know it. Learn it, okay? This is about learning, yes or no, right? I told you the direction to tap to, there's something you can tap to, go and try and learn this, okay? If you're a hero, social media is a thing, learn how to tell a visual story, learn how to use social media to your advantage. What's that, TikTok, YouTube, right? YouTube is not social media, but it is very important tool. Facebook, Instagram, learn how to tell that story. Listen, it doesn't matter, even an old, I saw that day there's, who's that, Smith or something, there's an old lady, his grandma is 90 years old and even a grandma is doing this and there's like millions of followers. So listen, it's possible to do and you can make good money from this. This is coming for 2021. Take note of that. Now, if you have grain, learn to teach, learn to coach. Learn to teach, learn to coach. This is important. To teach and coach is different than instruct, okay? You are going there, you're an educator, you take your knowledge, you're not consulting, you teach them how to do things, okay? Destructor is about online marketing. This is really important, especially ever since 2020 moving forward, everyone is moving digital, okay? And it's going to be like this until period 9. You may say, oh, I don't like it. You don't have to like it. You just have to do it, okay? Liking it is not an option. A lot of you, oh, I don't like it, I don't want to do it. Listen, if you want to go to the next, the period 9 onwards and be ahead of the game, and if you have this star, this is your year to go and do something about this. If you don't know how, learn how or hire someone. Pillar, learn how to sell and persuade. This is so important. You may think, but I'm only just an employee. Well, learn how to sell and persuade. Because when you know how to sell and persuade, you up your skills, you improve your ability to earn more, you get the job that you want because you're persuading other people, you persuade your boss to work with you persuade your team members to work with you, and you can sell your abilities, okay? And lastly, this digital networking, GRAS, network is net worth. It's who you know. I said this before in 2019 for 2020. In 2021, you might need this again, especially if you have GRAS in your chart. If you don't know this, you don't know the people, prior to shit hitting the fan. When shit hits the fan, it's too late to look for people. Okay, build the network before you actually need to use it. Find a job before you lose your job. Okay, the best time to get a job is when you still have a job. Remember that, write this down. The best time to get a job is when you still have a job. not when you lost the job, then you look for a job. It's very, very hard, okay? That's the same thing as the best time to raise funds is when you don't need the funds yet. Raise the ability to get it first. Have all this ready so when you need the funds, you now have it. So that you want the funds is all your network, okay? This is important. So again, find out from your child what is the QiMen Life Palace star that is influencing you, and you can get to that very quickly, okay? And also, if get help, right? A lot of people like, you know, I'm just going to do this myself, I'm going to figure this out. I mean, how many of you guys like to figure things out? I mean, I like to figure things out too. But you know what? It's faster if you get help. So here's the thing. Activate your nobleman help. You can do that. How do you do that? Well, this is how you do it. Okay, go to direction of northwest. Whenever you're going to talk to someone and is going to ask for help, before you ask, tap into this direction and imagine what help are you receiving from this person and how you can also be of service to that person. It's a two-way street. If you got nothing to offer, think about what you can offer. Go and get it. Okay, this is important. Here's the secret to money or to anything you want. Find out what they want, go and get it, give it to them. Okay, so that's the same with getting a mentor, right? When you want to activate nobleman help, meditate in this direction and figure out what you can give. You got to give something that they want, not what you want to give. Okay, you've got balloons, but they don't like balloons. Your balloons don't mean nothing to them. So there's always something that people want. Find out what they want, go and get it, give it to them, and you can get what they have to offer you, okay? So remember this, and you will always be able to connect in a positive way and build a stream, a whole group of helpful people to be helping you out, okay? So this is northwest direction, all right? And one more thing, when you're talking to your nobleman, increase the chances of at least being likable in the first place. So here, this section here you see on your printout, you see it right here. Okay, there is one that says heavenly noble. Okay, there's a heavenly noble direction. Now this here, this mobility direction, take note, mobility direction is where you face. I repeat, mobility direction is where you face. The QiMen direction is where you sit. The previous ones are where you sit with the back, except for this. Now I know I say this so clearly, a lot of you heard it, but there'll be some jokers who still can't get it, okay? So please help each other out here in the chat because I want to move fast and cover as much as possible. So this part here is mobility direction is for what? Guys, for facing. When you are using only this is for facing. So when you see heavenly noble and it says east for this individual here, so when you see the potential nobleman, make sure you're looking at east direction. Okay, if nobleman is not here, what should you do? He's over here, and what do? Face east. Okay, you want to be able to face east while talking to your nobleman if your heavenly noble is east. So if your heavenly noble is west and your nobleman is here, you ask him, stand here. I talk west to this that person. If you say, no, but he's standing here, and what do? He don't move, you move. Okay, so you're facing west if the west is your direction, all right? So this, again, that's why if you're a complete beginner, for those who have experience, please help them out here in the chat. I can see some people like, oh, you know, what's this? You told me to sit with direction, now you asked me to face. I know I said that. But for QiMen, when you're meditating, manifesting is the back. When you're talking and moving, you use the mobility direction. It's just two things, one of two, okay? All right, so again, these are small things that people miss out. As I said, this is about the 5 things that people could miss out. That once they get this in line, they get better results. It's a small things, okay? Think about this and use it to your advantage. And number 4, the cloak of invisibility or gaining visibility. Now this is important. We are in an era where attention is everything. If you could just command people's attention or attract people's attention to you, you obviously will have the best opportunity to sell your product or be able to market whatever you have. Listen, at the end of the day, I know some of you are like, oh, you know, I don't want to sell, I can't sell. You have to sell your services. If you're trying to look for a job, you're selling your services. You're trying to convince your husband to do something, you're selling an idea to him. You're trying to get your kids to go to school, you're selling the idea of going to school to your kids. If you can't do this, if you don't get attention, your kids, your husband or your wife or your boss or your colleagues, they will not be able to listen to you and they will not be able to be influenced by you. And if you are selling something in the market and you don't get attention, it is obvious that no, you will have to spend a lot of money on marketing and yet nobody wants your product. Okay, that's not good. So I will show you now the ability to enhance magnetism. Some people might call this peach blossom, which it is a little bit, but in some ways you can magnetize and attract people to look at you or people to be interested in you at least. That magnetism is important. At least they give you a chance. So at this is the direction of south. Okay, you can use that back towards the south. Now this is when you sit with the back. Okay, now I know you say, oh, I thought you said it's facing. No, no, no. Facing is only for mobility. When you are manifesting, you sit towards the back, towards the direction of the south next year for increasing your magnetism. So in this direction, you want to visualize, well, visual is the easiest, okay, or make the wish that you want to increase your likability. You want to increase your attraction towards what is the qualities of the people that you want, okay? What is the attraction of the type of people that you want to get connected with and get connected to? In this direction, you want to envision that, okay, and be able to see that whole conversation going through and the whole connection and the whole meeting successfully go through. So this is one of the directions to tap to, okay? So with all this together, you would be able to gain visibility. Okay, now for those of us who are launching online or trying to talk or launch a program, this could be a direction that you would tap to before you click the button to launch something, before you do something public or do something before you stand on stage. A lot of things, right? If you're doing a sales pitch, you want to boost your energy this way first before you go on stage because you want the likability. So if that magnetism is what you want, then concentrate on the south, all right? Take note of that. You might need this. You definitely would need this in 2021. If you were to get the job amongst most of the people who lost their jobs and you still trying to look for a job, then you want to be able to magnetize one. Okay, or at least magnetize the people who are interested in talking to you, right? So this is important. And the fifth thing, now I know I'm going a bit quick here, but I want to cover as much as possible. This is so important for everybody. What's the new thing? What's ahead? Okay, so I want to be able to make sure that you guys are still on the right track for success in 2021. Okay, 2021, it's just a couple of days time from now. So I hope that metaphysics will be something that will be with you for the rest of the next year and the rest of your lives, helping you, moving you further to where you want to be, closer to where you want to be, and closer to where you want to be and be able to get your dreams come true, okay? So how many of you have been following my daily voice calendar so far? Tap a 1 in the comment section. Yeah. Okay, I know I've stopped the daily thing, okay? I will be probably starting that if I get enough attention or interest in it. It's just that right now there's a lot of events like this and stuff that I still have to cover, but I'll try and find some time for you guys for the daily messages. But you guys should be able to do that on your own if you have some basics on date selection, okay? The life planning, the academy, and also the power planner that basically helps you plan out for an entire year, okay? But listen to this. This is the new mission, what you should be planning from now on for 2021. These are things. Number one, if you've not already done so, create a side gig. You gotta have a side gig, all right? It's a great time for it. If you listen to me since March until now, I talked about this. If you haven't already done it, just check out those who did it, right? Those who successfully did this. They're making good side income, right? There were lots of times you're at home, there's nothing else to do. Come on, right? I mean, instead of watching videos, watching Netflix, you could have made a side gig, right? And you always know the fastest way to clear debt in preparation for 2021. This is important. You don't want to carry too much debt forward. You want to have access to funds, okay? Access to funds. This is a key word here, access to funds. Now you say, I don't know how. You will be able to find out how if you become resourceful, okay? Listen, thousands of people out there have access to funds because the governments around the world are printing money. Okay, not all governments, but a lot of money is floating in the market. Where do you think they're going? They're going to places where they think they can grow, right? Share market, maybe to your new business idea. So if you keep saying that you can't access it, you're not going to access it. What about magnetism? Use that. What about attracting noble people? Use those energies, okay? You got to generate better cash flow. This is important. You got to have cash flowing in, either through a business or at least if you got your job secured, right? Don't lose your job. Make sure they have the cash running in. You need that to get through 2021 and to take advantage of the opportunities that come. And of course, in the best of your abilities, have multiple streams of income. To the best of your abilities, have multiple streams of income. This is important. I know if investment is risky, but it's even riskier if you don't have multiple streams of income. While things are, still within your control right now, do what you can to have multiple streams of income. Okay, get a second stream, a third stream happening somewhere. This is a key word here. Plan this. Work on your plan to make this happen. All right, and get the funding. As I said before, get the funding before you need it. This is extremely important because by the time the opportunity comes, and it will come, it might be too late to get the funding. So get access to this with all the nobleman help that you can get before you actually need the funding. Okay, so whenever you're free, you want to go out there and get the connection and keep investing. Okay, I said this at the start of the year, I'm going to say it again. Keep and stay invested. This is important. If you did since April to now, it has been going up, right? So stay invested. This is important, and build intellectual assets. So while you can, right, create a side gig, clear your debts, generate better cash flow, or have multiple streams of income, get the funding before you need it, stay invested, and build assets. If you keep doing this over time, 2021 and beyond will be a fantastic time for you. So if you want 2021 to be your best year ever, these are the aspects that you want to be working on. And a lot of times people think, I don't know what to do. Well, I just told you what to do. These are the things that you should be investing if you want to move on from survival to thriving. Okay, so after these 5 lessons, this is like the climax of the entire training program today. So to see whether you are ready to take on 2021, I'm going to show you a picture right now. What do you see? This is important. Now, a normal person would probably just call this a basketball, right, or a ball. But if you give it to a teenager, it would say it's a sport or a way to express themselves, right? But if you give it to a businessman, well, it would say that it's an opportunity to make money in the entertainment business, sell advertising and stuff. But if you ask Michael Jordan, he would say that it is a ticket out of the countryside, a pathway into stardom, and leaving a legacy. So, what do you see when you look at this? Now, I'm going to ask you this question. What do you see when you see this? Okay, go ahead and type it in the chat. What do you see when you see this? It means different things for different people. Do you see panic or do you see opportunities? Panic or opportunities? Type it down. Okay? Panic or opportunities? Because this is what happened in March, right? And what do you see when you see this? Again, do you see panic or do you see opportunities? Okay, type 1 for panic, type 2 for opportunities. All right. And what do you see when you see this? Do you see a lot of people losing their homes, or you see the next property tycoon? This is very important because when 2021 comes, it's all about seeing things differently. Okay, after we've been through all these 5 things, I hope you are able to achieve this by now, because this is why we're here, because we want to be able to learn the power to see things differently, and that's what sets the strugglers and the thrivers apart. And to help you, right, this is a map. The energy imprint of sorts, and I think this is important for you to understand. The events happened in a time, space, matter. This is the 4 realms that generally is what's represented in a QiMen chart. So when we look at what is happening right now around the world and what is forthcoming in 2021, are we going to see things differently? So this map allows us to see into the unknown, because a lot of things, if we knew it, as I said before in the start of our talk, if we knew, we've already done it, right? It's only because the answers, the solutions to our problems and challenges is in the unknown, and this is the map that we use to see into the unknown. Now, I've been teaching how to use this in a form of QiMen since 2013. 2013 is the first QiMen Dunja class. How many of you were with me in 2013, my first QiMen Dunja class? I don't know if some of them are actually here. Okay, go ahead and type in the thing. I just want to see my old students here. But check this out. This is me, and this is Nathan. Okay, this is Nathan. How many of you know Nathan? This is how he looked like during a time when my seminar sold to a huge crowd of 8 people. This is me. Okay, that's when we all started, and I know Nathan since I was 16, I think, right? And he can tell you more stories about that. Okay, cute, right? This is 2013, the QiMen Dunja class. The first one has 89 students. So
39.
Oh, 39. 39 students. Okay, so we have 39 students. I think some of you are probably still here in our session right now. And this is QiMen Dunja Mastery and QiMen Academy, my flagship events, has since grown to 2,000 students from 51 countries. And this was 2019, right? 2019. This is 2018, right? 2 years ago. And it was a nice event. And of course, in 2020, early this year, I had a time of my life. This is like my stage, and there were 32,000 in total from Singapore, Malaysia. How many of you were in this program? Malaysia, Singapore, my FSA event. That's me on stage. Now check this out. This guy is the same guy standing there. So I didn't get to where I am by seeing what everyone else see. So that's the key that I'm trying to talk about here right now. And if there's just one thing that any of you can do to really make it big in life, is to learn the ability to see things differently. And even with these results, I was still super frustrated, because even though we have grown exponentially and it was fast becoming mainstream, you know, since 2013, I was the first who started teaching QiMen, and then other people start talking about QiMen all around the world, but I was the first to start talking about QiMen. Now, there's a reason why I felt frustrated, and here's why. And there's 3 reasons here. Number one, a lot of students who learn QiMen, they didn't grow out of their field of expertise. For example, if they were a kindergarten owner, they are still in their field of expertise being a kindergarten teacher, and in order to grow, they have to grow out of their field of expertise to be able to see other opportunities. Basically, if you're a hammer, everything else is a nail. Okay, so if you're an engineer, everything is, you're going to see it from the eyes of an engineer. So if you stop growing out of the field of expertise, you probably would be stuck, even though you have the tool of QiMen. Okay, so you gotta be able to grow out of your field of expertise. And you know, sometimes they forget the small things. The second reason is some students, when they practice QiMen, just like now you went through this, right? They forget the small things that would lead to monumental change. It could be such a small things as direction of facing and direction of sitting. It's just a small thing. But a lot of people get confused with the small things, and then they probably just or forgot about it, that they don't make that exponential growth. Or they don't have someone or some place that they could practice this art with. And that's why, after I've been teaching all this in the last couple of years, I've started the QiMen Club. So some of you are in the QiMen Club. The QiMen Club it's like a meeting, a gathering of all like-minded individuals to address that 3 issues. And this is a picture taken June 2019. Now, QiMen Club is a $7,500 a year membership, okay? And this is absolutely true. You can ask whoever is in the club right now. And in the club, I share special topics, discuss my personal cases, and actually conduct a lot of anchor trainings that is not usually conducted in classes. And we learn with the outcome of being able to teach other people how we solve cases. So we have people talking about a case. We actually put the case up there, and everyone talks about how they use QiMen. They practice with like-minded individuals. They work in groups, and they broaden the spectrum of topics out of their areas of expertise. Because if you are just a hammer, you want to be able to see other tools as well, right? So if you're just an engineer, or if you're a yoga teacher, now you're able to see fields that is beyond your current field of expertise. And that allows a lot of students to be able to pick up and use this art in a more broader perspective. And that's why we have this access to peer-to-peer learning. It's like in a whole group of friends that we are sharing our experience, we're learning from one another, and compete with one another in a friendly way, of course, using QiMen. And we have games, okay? And we practice QiMen. We have the support of our team, and all our members, our coaches. We're like a big family. We're just playing together, learning together, and learning to use QiMen on a day-to-day basis. And we can resolve real-life problems. That's the most important thing. Okay, we solve real-life problems and we celebrate our wins together. And of course, occasionally we have Darth Vader, or we have some fun along the way. And every year we have something new and different. Okay, but listen, this is not an invitation for you to join the QiMen Club, because the club is completely full, and even though we've postponed most of the activities, there's still a waiting list. And this is absolutely true for 2022. And so there are no new members here until someone leaves. And so this is not an invitation for you to join the club. I'm just telling you that we have a club, and this is the activities that are in the club helping people master the art of QiMen Dunja. Now, listen. QiMen is not a be-all and end-all solution to all your life problems, but it certainly allows you to see things differently. This is the ability that QiMen Dunja has that allows you to look at any situation, whether it's external or circumstances or other people causing it or you causing it. You allow you to see that situation in a different view. And because you see it in a different view, you are able to take advantage of the opportunities. It's about awareness. And my QiMen Club is a community and an environment that I've created to facilitate the mastery of QiMen Dunja. And of course, there's also a selfish reason, because I actually like to have a tribe of my own and being able to talk to them and also learn from one another. You know, there's a lot of successful students who are successful in their own rights, and being part of this community allows me to access their experience, and I'm able to share those that I learned with other people, then we learn from one another. So this is really a really powerful tribe. Now, as I said, the QiMen Club, it's not open for membership right now. But I told you about a next level opportunity at the start of our program this evening. And this would not have been possible or even available if it wasn't for the pandemic. So as you know, the pandemic has totally change the way we operate, we communicate, and the way we connect with one another. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to an entirely new standalone program. No one has ever seen this before. This is called the QiMen Virtual Club Strategy Sessions. Now, if you're already a QiMen Club member, you're getting everything I'm about to show you. Okay, so QiMen Club members, we got your back. Don't worry. You need not do anything. You're part of this already. For those of you who are not QiMen Club members, then this is something next level for you if you're interested in QiMen. It's not going to be the same as the actual QiMen Club experience, of course, because that is irreplaceable. But it'll get you closest to the thing that you can get in times like this. Because you know what? You're probably not going to meet face to face, but you probably need strategy, you need solutions, you need to know hows. Okay, so the two most important factors that will make QiMen Club so different from anything that we have available is proximity and frequency. The results that we see everyone talking about from the QiMen Club is possible because members had the latest know-hows and the technical training needed for them to actually make real-life solutions to whatever situations they're in. So when I'm thinking about the QiMen Virtual Club, I am thinking about how we could replicate the phenomenal results that we create in the actual club meetings that we have in a virtual setting. Now, so take the formula back and have a look at it. The result of proximity and frequency is basically this. It's about because of the meetings. Now, when we meet with club members in our club meetings, it's from these meetings that we are able to learn from situations, from what the actual needs are, what the real problems are, what tools that we are using in real life situations to solve them. What's the point of learning metaphysics if you can't solve problems? Okay, so this is important, and of course the latest know-hows were tackled by the fact that we had core trainings. We had core trainings and anchor trainings that in our program that were useful for the students to learn updated topics and the latest know-hows, the latest strategies to solve their problems. And of course, right now we got to talk about the current situation, and in our actual meetings the QiMen Club, we always talk about what's happening at that time. And of course, when markets are good, we talk about what's the opportunities. When markets are bad, well, how do we solve the problem? What's the next available opportunity? So current situation is very bad. So when we put all these together, we created something new called the Virtual Club. And so the brand new monthly meeting meetups is that I'm intending to do, it's a 6-part session. So it's 6 months consecutively, we're going to meet virtually as if we're in a club. So this will happen in a form of strategy sessions. So there will be 6 monthly meetings. So where we're going to talk strategy. Okay, each meetup consists of 2 parts. The first part, it's where we're going to have core training, and the core training will be an extract or an express version from QiMen forecasting. So if you have even nominal knowledge on QiMen, it'll be fine because we're going to fill in some technical aspect. It's not the full program, guys. It's not the full program. It's only bits and pieces that are important, just like the way I taught this 5 strategies today, like stuff that are important. They'll be used for forecasting, destiny, strategy, and feng shui. Be extracted as part of training every single meeting. And then we're going to follow up with the members meeting. That's where the strategy session happens. We discuss the latest topics. And you need this because January, February, March, April, this first 6 months of the year, you don't want to be in a situation where you don't have momentum. Okay, where biggest changes take place. We're moving on to a new year. The process where the world is supposedly going through the vaccine. What are the changes you want to be ahead of the game? So we're going to talk about the strategy. We're going to have hot seats and mentoring. We're going to go deep dive on Q&As, right? So that's what we meant by strategies. So when these 2 things add together, they could be standalone programs, okay? But most people, I think, would probably be more interested in the this members meeting because we did this similar before in the form of QiMen Warcraft. So in the QiMen Warcraft, I have a session called Navigation. That's where this come from. But this time, we're going to go deeper into the form of like a club meeting. So they're going to be hot seats, there's going to be discussion, there's going to be Q&A. So it's going to have that sort of fun aspect as well. So the 2 standalone programs will safely say, if you're going to extract stuff from all my 4 programs, it's going to be 1997 if we are just taking this alone. And if you're just going that for the members meeting, it will be 1997. This is our usual price for the navigation that we did before early part in the year. And we have about 300-400 students for the navigation program. So they could tell you about the benefits of being in a navigation program because there were so many issues that are happening at that time. We had it from April, May, June, right? Yeah. The 3 months. And the world was evolving. It was in a lockdown and people need to know what to do. And those sessions came in extremely handy for those people who were in that situation. And now we want to have a similar strategy sessions, but we're going to pick up to follow the momentum from January all the way to June and to get you ready to make sure that you benefit from opportunities along the way. So let's look at it this way, right? The membership fees for QiMen Club is $7,500 at a discounted price if you've been there before, but you can't register for this because we don't take any more memberships right now, so it's not available, okay? The next best thing you could consider right now if you would like to join our group is to be part of the virtual club. The virtual club has less stricter limits, okay? So we have the strategy sessions, which is the core training, and then we have the strategy sessions, which is the members meetings. And so if you just add these 2 programs together, it will be $3,994. But if you are joining us today, as expected with a lot of our first-time registrations when we're opening up, when we're launching to students, you can get this for $1997 for both. If you are interested in joining us for the QiMen Virtual Club and to be guided and be part of our team, the QiMen tribe for the next 6 months, then this is the link to join us right now. Okay, so if you see the link that is on the screen or on the chat right now is joeyup.com/QiMen QVC 2021. All the info that you need is on this page, okay? If you qualify for it, you feel that you're ready to take on the next step, you want to be part of the team, you feel that me and my team have supported you so far throughout all the daily telegrams and throughout all our videos and messages and all this so far, you felt that it's pretty good and you want, I mean, that was the free version. Think about what's the paid version like, right? So if you think that this is something that you want for us to help you in the next 6 months or so, then go and get all the information that you can get from this page right now that you see and register for this program. I'm pretty sure it will be able to give you the momentum that you need for 2021. Now, this would be great for the two groups of people who probably would qualify for this group. There was one group of people who wanted to join our actual QiMen club but can't due to travel restrictions because, you know, they have to travel twice a year to the club when it was open. And for some, it was not easy because of traveler expense and time and all that. So that was the first group. And the second group is the people who couldn't get in because the club is full. So this will be the next best thing, okay? And we meet once a month virtually. You know, you don't even have to travel. You can just watch this and talk to me from where you are right now, anywhere in the world, and you save on a bunch of other expenses and still get access to QiMen guidance and strategy sessions along the way for the next 6 months. So, but what if you needed more QiMen practice, okay? Or if you needed timely reference or immediate actionable dates? What if you need that? Like, what if you like my daily voice calendar and you would think it would be nice to have some guidance for the month before the dates, right? Because this guy keeps only talking about it on the day itself. Well, if you think about that, we thought about that, we heard you, so we want to come up with a small but important innovation to this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new QiMen Gram. Okay, so this QiMen Gram is dedicated channel for the next 6 months. So this is where myself and my team, mainly my team, who are experts in QiMen Dunja date selection, they're going to share with you the monthly case studies and monthly QiMen dates. This is important. Okay, this itself I think is worth your joining on our program, right? So this is like the value of all our actual handpicked QiMen case done by the team. Of course, if you do that on a manual basis, it's like $300 per case per analysis, and you receive this on your Telegram in this special channel. There's only for this QiMen Virtual Club for the next 6 months on a monthly basis. You receive it over the next 6 months, and it's equivalent to $1,800. And really, if you wanted some dates, these are the dates and times that are QiMen qualifying, and you could use it for your planning and add that to your life planning calendar, and you will have a fantastic 6 months ahead. Now, let's put it all together. The QiMen Virtual Club consists of core training and the members' strategic sessions, the members' meetings, and it will include access to QiMen Gram, where you're going to get the QiMen case studies as well as the monthly dates for all the students. And I think you add this together, it will be a value of $5,794, and you could register for this program for the price of $1,997. Okay, so if you're joining us today, this is the link once again, joeyup.com/QVC2021. This is the last and final program. I believe that this is the program that you probably would need to help you propel yourself and be ready for 2021, because this is a 6-month thing. It's not a one-time thing and then you're gone and I'm gone and then you got no one to reference to. This is like a 6-month, month-by-month thing, and someone to really handhold, right? And someone to actually discuss your issues with and to move forward. I think it would be nice. And now, a quick announcement launching next year, just so you know. There is a short program I call QiMen Consciousness. It's a standalone program. I will be launching this sometime in either February or March. It's a standalone program, and it's about becoming more QiMen aware, heightening your awareness, your consciousness, so that you're more aware of your thoughts, what's affecting you from that level, the heaven level, more aware of the spiritual realm, more aware of the emotional realm, the earth realm, and more aware of how this affects you in manifesting your reality. So in simple terms, it's conscious and subconscious mind together, but more becoming mindful of it so that you can gain access and control over it. So these are certain faculties of life. It's something new that I'm going to be talking about somewhere about March or February next year. And I will include this as part of your program. This program is going to go for $997. It's a standalone short program. And if you're part of the first 30, I'll include this as part of your enrollments today, right now. This is something that's really interesting. And we will be launching this. As you know, this is a pre-launch. So you're going to get this as part of the entire program. So if you add this together now, together with QiMen Consciousness, it is 6791 in total. But as you know, this is a pre-launch, so you will get that at 1997. So it's a 70% discount right now. So if you're interested in this, again, that's the link. You see it on the screen or on the chat right now, joeyup.com/QVC2021. Here's the last note. Enrollment closes on 22nd of December 2020. And then it's over. We're going to close this and then we'll concentrate on this elite group of people in the QiMen Virtual Club. And once again, this would not have been possible or even available in the first place if it wasn't for the pandemic. So the QiMen Virtual Club strategy sessions may not ever be available again because after the pandemic, I will concentrate once again on my QiMen Club activities, which is the actual core program and live meetings. And so we will probably never go back to virtual meetings ever again. Okay, so this is the only time that is available. So if 2021 is a year that you want new levels of expression, new levels of personal power, new levels of interpersonal connection, new levels of self-knowing, or perhaps if I just translate this in layman's term for you, perhaps if you want to achieve that 100,000 or six-figure launch, or you want to add a zero to your income, or make your relationships work again, or be clear of what you want in life, then, you know, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The QiMen Virtual Club. Be a member today and join us at joeyup.com/QVC2021. Now, if the full registration fee is a little bit of a stretch for you, don't worry. You can still start today with just a payment of $400 and 5 payments of USD thereafter. Okay, so whichever is more convenient for you, $400 may be a good start to ensure that you have a great 2021. Now, let's think about it, right? What are the smart purchases that you could buy with $400? Well, you could sell your car in exchange for a road bike. According to bankrate.com, the average monthly payment for a new car will cost you $479. So why spend what you could save, right? So according to them, you could, one of the smart thing to do is to sell off your car and purchase a bike that is $400 or less because you save on petrol to cycle to work. You don't have to pay for gas, don't have to pay for maintenance, you don't have to pay for car insurance, and you can commute and get healthy, all right? So this could be a smart purchase for $400. Or perhaps you could buy some fixed deposits in Malaysia at a 3% for 6 months. A 2,000 ringgit deposit will have a maturity amount of a grand total of 2,030 ringgit and 19 cents, which means you actually made 30 ringgit and 19 cents, which roughly equates to about $7 US, which means you made a return on investment on 2 cups of coffee from Starbucks. Great investment indeed. Or perhaps $400 could get you started with the virtual club strategy sessions, and you be on your way to a great 2021 with new levels of expression, new levels of personal power, new levels of interpersonal connection, new levels of self-knowing, and perhaps achieve that 6-figure launch you're thinking about, add another zero to the income, make your relationships work again, or get some clarity on what you want in your life. Okay? So we are going to take a short break right now. You could discuss with your friends, discuss with your family members, see if this is something that you want to take on. And when we come back, we'll cover the Q&As, and I'm talking about my bonus later on, the top 5 trends for 2021. We're going to take a short break right now. And in this time, I would like you to seriously consider, right? You can meditate on this, think about it, and then you take action on this. Join me for the first ever QiMen Virtual Club, and that includes all the core training, the members meetings, the QiMen Gram, the QiMen Consciousness, and you get everything for $1997. That's a 70% off, and you can register for this program in joeyhub.com/QVC2021. We're going to take a short break right now, and when we're back, we're going to talk about my 5 trends for 2021. See you then. All right, welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for registering for the QiMen Virtual Club. Thank you, thank you. I think you guys would be in for a treat because this is something that I'm really keen to be working in, because I think most of you would know I spend a lot of time with the club members, and this is the first time we're doing a QiMen club together, a virtual club together, and I'm really looking forward to being able to be part of your journey for the next 6 months. All right, so if you're all back now into the room, you guys ready? Type of 1 if you guys are ready. We're going to start with the Q&A, so go ahead and type all your questions as well onto the chat sessions right here. Okay, now I know it's moving really quickly. If it jams up, just click refresh. You'll be fine. Okay, so
so some of the questions the coaches have answered, so we'll only select the questions and put it on the screen.
Okay, so some questions my coaches have already answered, as you know. Some questions are answered, so I'm gonna. Can you just put the questions out on the screen for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so my team's gonna pluck the questions out and put it here on the screen for me, and I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna answer them as we go along. So go ahead and post them, and if I can't pick everything, not to worry. My team will do their best to answer.
A lot of them are similar questions too.
Okay, so yeah, so a lot of it is similar questions, as you know, so well, listen to the answers. Okay, so first one is Gong Mei saying, how many times can I use the QiMen chart to forecast? The same QiMen chart to forecast. Okay, so to answer that question, you use one QiMen chart for whenever the question comes out, or whenever you see a marker if you're a beginner, and then that answers everything that you want to ask at that point in time. If you have a new question, like totally new question, then you plot another chart at a different time to forecast the outcome. That's the answer. That's the way to do the chart. And if you're a beginner, remember you gotta look for a marker. If you are not a beginner, you're an experienced user, then of course you plot the chart as and whenever the thought of the question comes to mind. And the next question comes from Susan Lee. If I have 2 choices, 2 different job offers, how do I see it in the QiMen chart? Well, normally the different choices will come from the different, what we call focus points or useful gods, okay? So maybe the job nature is different. If the job nature is different, you could actually look at different stars as the focus point, so you can compare the 2 boxes in the chart to see which one is better. So that's one of the ways to do that. Lisa Ong is asking, I've been experiencing chronic pain in my leg ever since I moved into a workplace. Ever since I was involved in a workplace accident, I've been visiting doctors about it and then can't quite pinpoint what's the issue. How can I use QiMen to alleviate this problem? Well, you want to use the 9 Earth for healing, or you want to use the Rest Door for healing. So you can select strategic execution dates and times for you to boost up your healing ability. Okay? And Tan is asking this question, what's the useful god if I'm forecasting for missing items or pets? The book only mentioned livestock and not modern pets like hamster, cats, or dogs. Okay, livestock will represent the animal that you're looking for. So wherever livestock is, you use that as a reference point. Okay, Alfred Lim is asking if the answer and the asker both are in the same box, how do I read the forecast? If the asker and the answer is in the same box, it means that whatever you want already is there, or already happened, and or already taken place, or you already decided. Okay. Alice Griffin is asking, let's say you're doing a forecast in Malaysia using a current hour chart there, and I'm over here in the States. Does the forecast still apply to me even though we're in different time zones? Yes, it does. As long as I'm hosting it from Malaysia, it follows the chart I'm using. Yi Yun is asking, ever since the pandemic, I've decided to shift and change industries from airline to e-commerce. Good. In this new industry I'm in, I'm having problems because being inexperienced, how do I use QiMen to improve my situation? The question is, what do you want to improve, right? You're saying that you're inexperienced. I would believe that you want to increase your experience, or you want to increase your knowledge or skill set, right? So the general start you could use is the Heavenly Assistant. Normally it's a good one. Or if you want to improve your connection with other people, then use the Sixth Harmony. Emily Cowell saying, I'm always have misunderstanding with my superior at work because he's never specifics with giving instructions. How do I use QiMen to ensure that I can deliver the work that is exactly as he requested, forecast whenever I need to submit my work? I think in this case, you can forecast to submit your work, but I would think it would be better to improve the relationship with him directly. Maybe you need to tune into what he's thinking about. The black tortoise will be a good use to tune into what people are thinking, to understand how they think, okay? Looming, what's the difference between QMC and QMVC in terms of content? Huge difference, of course. QiMen Club obviously have a lot of live games and strategies, and we are meeting live, and therefore the anchor trainings are different, and there's competition between teams and so forth. You actually learn how to use QiMen immediately and directly. There are things like the Pandora's box, where we are doing what we call Sefok. Is a technique where you're going to use QiMen to guess what is inside a box through QiMen. That's how we test learn the QiMen skills. There's a lot of more activities in the actual live club. QiMen Conquest, a game that we created for people to actually play and learn how to master the attributes or the components or faculties of QiMen. So there's a lot more in the club that, of course, we can't do that because of restrictions right now. So virtual club will only have the strategy sessions, which is also part of the club, but we're going to have part of it, a small part of it that we could use, that we could discuss online to the best that we can given the circumstances. Okay, so there's still strategy sessions. The difference is it's going to be on Zoom, where I can still meet face to face. There still can be anchor trainings, but in a smaller scale, and it's much cheaper. Okay, it's like
7,005 versus 1,997.
Yeah, 7,005 versus 1,997. Huge difference. Okay, so Alex Kwok is asking, I'm currently seeking investors to help me fund my project. How do I use QiMen to make this possible? What should I be looking for? Do I manifest? Well, depends. Chief would be a good start to manifest the possibility, okay? And once you have made improvements, you might want to change that to 9 heavens, and then you want to change that to 9 earth to get the asset, for example, or create the asset. So there are stages by stages in terms of manifesting, okay? Or you want to clear up obstacles, for example, you might want to have the energies to block off competitors. It depends. Go back to the 5 things that we talked about and use it accordingly, okay? Pinghu is asking, if there's anything I don't understand inside this one, where can I send in my questions? Well, we discussed that live in the sessions itself. So you send it to me when we're doing it live, okay? So Lei Jing is saying, I would love to join, however, I can only pay in installment. Is there a way for me to do so even if I'm not from Singapore and Malaysia? Is there a way?
It's on the page itself. Just go to the page. There's a button at the bottom to contact us.
Okay, so it's on the page. There's a button to contact the team, and they will tell you the options for different countries where you may be able to pay by installments. And Timothy Wong, how would I know if I'm in the first 30? How would they know if they're first 30?
It will appear in an email.
Okay, it will appear in your email when you register. If you're part of first 30, you will know. Okay, Louis is asking, if I'm totally new, can I still benefit from this program? In a way, yes, but it would be nice, it would be good if you can watch all the preliminary basic videos, the free ones on YouTube, so you get to know some of the terminologies of QiMen Dunjia first. It would be better yet if you have QiMen Academy as your basis, then this is the next level up, okay? So if you're completely new, but you have the patience to pick up the basics along the way, then fine. If you're impatient and you just want to jump to application, it might be a little bit difficult for you. So I would need you to understand that you do need a little bit of basics as well, okay? All right, so that's about it on the Q&A.
Roy is asking
okay.
if you can pay in ringgit. The answer is yes.
Oh, okay, Roy is asking if I can pay in ringgit. The answer is yes, you can. Talk to the team and they will be arranging this. Okay, so let's talk about the 5 trends, guys. Let's talk about my top 5 trends for 2021. So now trends are like undercurrents. Okay, if you're in the right trend, even if you're not in the right industry, there's a good chance for success. Okay, I give you an example. The example is a food delivery business. Okay, the trend is delivery, the industry is food. Now, if you replace food with fashion, you could still excel in this industry if you find out a way to facilitate this industry, but the trend is still delivery, if you still understand this trend. Now, even if you can replace fashion with medical, right? If you find a way to deliver medical treatment, attention to people, if you understand this trend, you can still succeed. So food delivery business is one of them, but understand the trend industry is two different things. So the goal of this bonus session here, it's about my observations for 2021. And hopefully some of this will be able to serve you to at least put you in the right direction in preparation for the year ahead, okay? Now, for those of you who have been to my Thrive program, you remember I mentioned something about the Mother Earth Oracle. The Mother Earth Oracle, it's a very interesting oracle. It's like the Chinese Nostradamus. If you remember, you know, Nostradamus, he's got many sayings and cryptic sayings that sort of predict what happens around the world for centuries, even after his death. Well, in Chinese metaphysics, there are 3 such sayings or oracles, okay? The first one is called the spring cow map, Chun Ngao To. So the spring cow diagram or spring cow map is used to talk about the seasonal changes for the year. So where the, you know, the farmer kid is standing in front or the back with shoes, without shoes, whether he's wearing a hat, without a hat, where the cow is moving or not moving, all tells you the harvest for the year. And apparently with amazing accuracy, but mostly for farming, right? Then there is another oracle called the Toi Pui To. Toi Pui To, it's written in the Tang Dynasty by the imperial astrologer to the Tong Taizong, one of the great emperors of the Tang Dynasty, because he wanted to know how long his dynasty will last after he took over China and run China for you know, this emperor of the world. So this imperial astrologer wrote down many poems on pictures, okay, pictures describing what happens, and of course that picture even described the fall of a dynasty, but he has to draw in pictures because he don't really want to. In those days, if you say anything bad about the imperial the dynasty, you get the head chopped off, right? So you just disguise it in the form of a picture. So apparently, Toi Pui To, the diagrams, is able to depict all the way until the current Xi Jinping, okay? So it's a very interesting diagram. Maybe one day, if you guys are interested, I might spend some time to describe some of this. How many of you are interested? You can type a 1 here in the comment section, and maybe, right, we'll talk about that. The third oracle is called the Mother Earth Oracle. Okay, the Mother Earth Oracle is found in the Tongshu. In all traditional Tongshu, in the first, maybe second page, usually first page, there will be this, okay, the poem or verse, and it has a commentary. So if you look at 2020, this is a clip from the Tongshu, and if you just simplify the saying, you say the first line, if you read Chinese, you say it's Yan Man To Bo Zut. It clearly for 2020, now, most of the time we don't pay attention to the oracle because, hey, you know, this is something written like 2,000 years ago. How can it have any relevance for today? But somehow when shit happened in 2020, everyone's looking, okay, now we don't have any experience in pandemics. None of the astrologers or practitioners ever had a lockdown in their lives. I mean, it's not in my lifetime, nor even in our parents' or grandparents' lifetime. It was like 100 plus years ago before the last pandemic. So no one experienced this. But if you look at the text, it clearly says here that people will have a huge disturbance or disaster in 2020, stated in the first sentence, and the explanation, which is quite interesting here. Okay, the explanation, there's a commentary. Okay, now the commentary it says, okay, this is the English translation for it. It says the year Grand Duke of Metal, the demise of many. That's the translation of the first line, okay? Now, wow, this is interesting. How the hell did they know? This is like a couple of thousand years ago. How do you know there's so many people demise, okay? So even it says floods during spring and summer, there were floods, right? Famine during autumn and winter, it's apparently happening. And crops will be halved by the floods and none will be harvested later in the year. Quite interesting. There are food shortages around the world, okay? Now, the Qinhui River is basically dividing north-south of certain sections in China, but today you can determine northern and southern hemisphere differences. Mulberry leaves lose their value while silk productions is futile and decreases. This talks about the GDP, right? Those days, these are the GDP. Today, you can interpret this as GDP being decreasing, okay? And of course, the commentary is the most interesting part for 2020. By the way, this is 2020, okay? It says here, the red 10號出頭年, okay? So the red year metal red will increase the wealth gap. This is not really the translation. What it means is this, okay? Watch this. Red appear the head. Red appear head is the red year, red month. So it's December month, right now. Okay, right now is red appearing head, okay? And if you look at the last sentence, it's very interesting. It says here, 更看三冬來. It means Samtong means 3 winter. 3 winter means the 3 months of winter. November, December, January. Okay? San Tao Hei Motin. It means the mountain, head of mountain or part of the mountain, you have many graveyards. This is scary shit right now. I mean, if you look at it right now, the November, December, and coming January, this is like the most deaths right now from COVID-19. You think about it, right? Around the world, the infection rate is increasing like crazy. How the hell does this oracle knows thousands of years ago, written in a poem that there were many deaths in winter? Crazy. Now, if this shit is correct for 2020, doesn't it make you want to look at what's happening in 2021? Right? So let's look at what's happening in 2021. So this is 2021 Earth Mother Oracle. Now, normally we don't pay any attention whatsoever to this. Okay, normally we don't this is like so far away, right? I mean, this is like so long ago, but we better look at it because it's important. So it says here, the first sentence, Zat Bang Sao Fan Fan. Okay, but this is good news for us. It says here, I'm going to put it in a text, this is Chinese and this is the explanation. It says, the year of the Grand Duke, metal ox, disease are still aplenty, but it's reduced. Sao Fan Fan means reduce. So, if this thing is correct, it means that with the vaccine, it can reduce the infection, but it didn't say that the illness will disappear. Now, first of all, how the hell does this know that in 2021, the illness will reduce? That means if all of us, including myself, had looked at this the year before, we could have predicted an illness, but we didn't. We didn't bother to look at this text, right? So that was the interesting thing about the year. But if you can look at what it says in the text, clearly it says that it is better than the previous year. So which means the whatever we're looking at, the economy-wise or the whole year, the good news is it's better than last year. But think about it. If last year is so bad, anything is still better than last year, correct? Any improvement is still better. So in some ways, it's still a rather good news for us. But what we want to look at is there's a recovery, which is good. But first, the problem. First problem, then only recovery comes, as you can see. People might regain their health, but animals might differ. So might be animals have issues and or production might still have issues, but people are still recovering. But here is the part that is most scary, okay? It says this, right? 新丑牛為首 means the ox here, no matter what the status. 高低甚可憐, very hard to explain. I don't know what is high and low as well. There's Chinese, you can read every Chinese word here, but what is high, what is low is hard for people to say. Why is it so 可憐? Why is there people will have sorrowful, high or low? Okay? So it says here, 人民流一半. 人民流一半 means that it can say, I don't want to translate as massive deaths, but it can say that half is, people will leave half. That's a direct translation. Leave half of what? Is it half of population or half of their wealth or half of something? Okay, but the survivors will be happy and great. Now what does that mean? Okay, so that leads me to these trends that I'm talking about. Trying to pick stuff from here. So the trend number one that I think is important is this, flexibility, right? Flexibility in the workplace will be valued much higher by both job seekers as well as employers. If you think about this, right, a business and leaders adapts and builds on these trends will make them very powerful. What do you mean by flexibility? It means the ability to integrate your work and your life together, flexible enough. No, a lot of times people like the 9 to 5 thing, like I go to work, I come back, I don't think about work. There's no flexibility in that, right? It's like, okay, I just work means work, life is life, and kids is kids. But now the flexibility of blending together is important because this ever-changing 2021 trend is moving towards that direction. So I think this is the big thing, no matter where you are, whatever business you're in, whatever industry you're in, whatever job position you're in, if you're not flexible, you cannot integrate your work and your life together, you're going to lose out. And this, of course, works both ways, whether you are employee or employer. If you're an employee, you got to be flexible both ways. If you're an employer, you got to also allow that flexibility that people will work from. I mean, frankly speaking, when I first get into this work from home thing, I was a bit worried, like, can my team actually work from home without supervision? Apparently they can, right? And a lot of people prove that they actually can produce better results when they work from home, but only for those who are flexible. Those who can't, they obviously didn't blend too well with work from home, and now they lose their jobs. So this is a key important thing for the upcoming year, the first trend. Think about this. And the second thing is decentralization. Working independently, off-site, and on-demand will be the new rules of engagement. And it's a flatline organization, and teams will move much faster and further. Think about gig economy 2.0, right? You have a skill set, you leverage on that skill set, you sell the skills to whoever who needs it now. You can actually connect with more people, more employers out there if you have a specific skill, or if you're able to sell your skill across, to the world. Now it's basically everyone with a Zoom account now can have meetings from their home. Okay, so this is something that you want to take note of, and especially in the year where there's improvement, right? If you're an improvement, but I think people will still be afraid in 2021 to actually have full force all in just the workplace because it's not 100% recovery. Remember, the text clearly says it's recovering, but it didn't say the illness will disappear. Okay, the text says that. Okay, and so we might want to try and follow this text. The trend moves that direction. And of course, number 3, the rise of one. Now we'll see an unprecedented amount of high-profile mergers, combinations, and takeovers. Remember the text that says that that people leave half. That means the commentary clearly says that yan man lawa pun, it means that half the people will disappear. Maybe they've merged. Maybe companies have merged. Maybe people have joined forces, combined, or there will be takeovers. So the rise of one instead of where everyone is still around. So that could be the interpretation of that interesting line in the Mother Earth Oracle. Okay, so and the 4th trend is security. Okay, so security will be an interesting industry to watch out next because there's so many civil unrest. There's so many when the gap between the rich and the poor is wide, that's when there will be unrest and there'll be more fights and there'll be more issues. So remember, I started off the talk today by saying, besides fighting COVID, they're going to fight the conflicts. Conflicts can cause security issues. So this might be something, whether it's virtual or physical, it's a big thing, big trend coming. Okay, so take note of this. And of course, my fifth trend here is the change of narrative. As you know, we are approaching to period 9, and the transition is going to happen in just about 5 days from now. That's right. December 20th is when the actual transition starts to take place. Period 9 energy fully almost taking over. And period 9 is where women will be in power. So this might be a fundamental change in terms of narrative. Maybe you want to appoint or have more top-level executives who are smart women in your team and get them in your team, or maybe appeal to more the demographics of women out there. So whichever it is, have this in mind. This will be the start of the change. It's just the next 5 days, starting very, very quickly. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, remember, we are not out of the woods yet. At this point in time, it looks like we're expecting a lot of turbulence first, coming soon, before we can actually get some smooth sailing ahead in 2021. If you have not already done so and still on the verge of deciding, I urge you to make a decision to join us in the QiMen Virtual Club. And the information is right here on your screen and or on your chat right now. It's joeyap.com/QVC2021. And hopefully you can join us, and together with me and my team, we can learn to see things differently. And with this, I end my final live stream event for 2020. I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I hope to serve you for the coming 6 months ahead in our QiMen Virtual Club. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.